So everyone sees the cash flow in the screenshots, but what they don't see is the cars left behind, the laundry machines that have broke, the electrical requests, the plumbing leaks in the parks. They don't see all that stuff. So today I'm going to tell you about the real, right, of owning a mobile home and or RV park. All right. So like we've had washing machines down for 2 weeks, right? And we own the machines, but there's a company that we use that services them and we get a share of the revenue, right? Well, like this company hasn't freaking been out. You know, when we bought this park, they already had this company. The machines are nice. Like they're digital, there's an app, you know, all the stuff, but you know, they're not holding up their end of the bargain right now. And, you know, tenants aren't super happy because there's no laundry, right? And also, like, we bought some tiny homes recently. Well, when you get tiny homes, you just don't put them in there and they're ready to go. You've got to hook up electricity. You've got to hook up water. You know, line up the contractors. There's costs, right? Which you probably know about that. But when you have a park, there's like water leaks all the freaking time, right? And you just got to account for that kind of stuff. And it is what it is. People are using, like, they're using utilities nonstop. There's a ton of people there, especially like in a bigger park. Like, you know, I'm talking about this 88 unit right now, but I mean, we have a 140 unit and some other ones, you know. I do have a 25 unit. It's way less maintenance, but, you know, it's not as much revenue, right? It's a killer of a deal, actually. But, you know, I had a person leave a car at that one. You know, and I didn't even realize it for like 6 months because it's not a beater. So like right now we're trying to see if we can get abandoned title on it. Well, we're going to see if it runs first. If not, we're just going to have somebody pick it up. But I mean, it looks like a decent car, you know. People, when I made a post about it, people were saying it's probably junk, transmission, whatever. But I'm going to look into it. There's just stuff like that you run into. It's nonstop. I mean, we just put in 4 units in a park in South Texas in Beeville, and it took like a month to get electricity. So get this, like the electric panels needed to be upgraded per the city and the electric company. So we got to put in new panels. And when you do that, you got to pull a permit, right? And then the electrician got to coordinate everybody to put in their meter posts, what they are. And you know, the inspector freaking canceled on us like 5 times because of rain. You know, we have tenants that we've already sold these units to. They're supposed to move in on the 1st. At this point, it's like the 15th. You know, so they're not super happy. Plumbing, you know, the city told us that we had to remove all their meters and put ours. It was like 17 G's. You know, to do that. There's just unexpected costs. Yes, I'm not like just talking doom and gloom, but I like to spread reality, right? Like you can see the P&Ls, you can see the T12s or whatever, which is trailing 12 months, and you can say, oh man, the cash flow is awesome and this is great, which they are. That's why we're in the business. But it requires work. You know, the thing that I don't like is when people fluff it up and they're like, hey, you can get this and like no effort, no money down, here you go, you're gonna make all this money. And I think that's the misconception. And where I got my background to learn all of this stuff was actually in single family houses, right? You got to learn to be a good landlord, because like even when you have houses, you have this stuff pop up. It's just a lot smaller because it's one unit instead of like a ton. You know, you have electrical, you have plumbing, you have roofs, you have tenants, all the stuff, collecting late fees, you know, posting eviction notices, evicting. You do all the same thing, but when you own a park, it's like that times however many spots you have. It's just management. Now, you can hire people to manage these parks or a park if you get it, but you know, you need to know what you're doing, because like I'm not saying this a bad way, because there's probably good managers out there. I've just never met one. right? We have our own management company. We manage our own parks, and we charge 10% for it, and that's going rate. So I think if you're going to get one of these, you should learn what you're doing, what you're looking at, and then if you want to hire a manager and they're good references and you like them, great, go for it. But you still need to know what you're doing. You're going to have all these unexpected things pop up. I don't want it to derail you, deter you, anything like that from getting a park. But like, you're going to have, when you buy one, you're going to have like sometimes a bunch of vacancy at once. Whatever happened, like the job left town and the crews had to leave if it's an RV park, or whatever. These things happen, and I don't think people talk about them enough. You have on-site managers on top of property manager, that you should have an on-site manager, which is usually like a tenant that lives there, but they've got to be managed also, right? That's like daily communication. I posted a screenshot yesterday of just like a couple hours of my on-site manager at our 88 unit park. She's like, hey, like I got an electrical quote for $3,000 because like one of the sites isn't working. The wire underground isn't working right. I'm like, damn, well, that sucks. And then, oh, hey, we had a plumbing leak, so all the water's off and the tenants are pissed. And, so my BA sends everybody a mass message because we're getting like messages out the wazoo, like, hey, we don't have water, like freaking out. And it's because they had to shut the water off and fix it really quick. And just stuff like that. Like, we have a tenant right now over there that only one out of all those spots, she for some reason has it in her head that she's going to pay on the 1st and the 15th. And we put up an eviction notice because we told her that's not how it goes. So she refused to pay everything, and I think I got to check or get with the team today, and she said she was going to pay last night. And you usually can't like turn off utilities like in a mobile home park, but in an RV park, they're like licensees if you do it right, and they're not tenants. And get with like your lawyer, legal, or whatever. Like, don't take my word as gospel. It's just how we operate. But I told her, I was like, we're going to shut those utilities. We're shutting that meter off. So you do what you got to do. And she's like, well, we're going to end up paying tonight. I'm like, okay. That was at our RV park. But that's like another hidden thing with parks is like utilities, even if they are separately metered, in some instances you have to bill it back, depending on how it's set up there. We have to do it with electricity at our 88 unit park. At our 140 unit park, we have to do it with water. The city made us put our own meters. Instead, we'll take theirs out. I mean, we didn't have to put in meters, but we want them because we want to know what to charge. Just all that stuff. And I just want to be real and transparent with y'all. And if you got any questions, anything like that, comments, leave them below, and I'll try my best to answer them. I'm pretty active on Facebook. If you DM me, Travis Wells, my Facebook page. Instagram's Travis Clay Wells. I'll answer there too. We've got a YouTube page, Travis Wells. Would love for the follow, like, support. If you do like this stuff, if you have some stuff to add it. I'd love to hear from you.